What's going on, car family? I'm Ben Wayne, and thank you for joining me in another video. Today we're here to take a look at a brand spanking new three-row SUV from Hyundai. This is the 2026 Hyundai Ioniq 9. Again, all electric, all-wheel drive, three-row SUV. This is finished in a gravity matte gold. Let's take a look at the exterior and interior details and see how this thing has been engineered for excellence. So first, I'll give you a quick walk around. You'll notice we do have a matte paint work on this one. This is called a gravity matte gold paint. I know it looks silver. I'm not really seeing the gold, but that is what it's called. Now, of course, you'll notice this thing does feature all the design language that you would expect from an Ioniq vehicle in the Hyundai lineup. This is coming in at about $80,000. This is a calligraphy model, top of the line. So right off the bat from the front, we do have that pixelated theme that we've come to know and love from the Ioniq brand. A pixelated light bar really helps define the overall width of this vehicle. Of course, we have all LED everything. We have the LED turn signals and then adaptive LED high beams, unique to the calligraphy level trim, and then LED daytime running lamps as well. So all LED everything, and of course, active front flaps and shutters at the front of the vehicle to help it maintain a low drag coefficient. I believe it's around 0.27, 0.28 for this vehicle. Now let's take a quick look at the front. I'll use the key. This is the key for this vehicle. As you can see, if I turn it to the side, it has an H. You have your typical buttons, lock, unlock, hold to start. You also have buttons on the side to move the vehicle in and out of tight parking spaces without you having to be in it. So that's a pretty cool feature. And then of course, buttons to open up the front and rear storage spaces. So let's go ahead and open that from the front. All right, so we're gonna see what type of storage we have underneath here. So underneath the front, we have about 3 cubic feet of storage. You probably were expecting a little bit more, but that's not an issue, being that this is an SUV. You have tons of storage, around 89 cubic feet in the interior. So this is a dual motor setup that's giving us 422 horsepower, 516 pound-feet of torque. We have dual electric motors connected to a 1-speed automatic transmission. Again, you do have all-wheel drive, 0 to 60 in about 4.5 seconds. This is all connected to a 110.3 kilowatt-hour battery pack, giving us about 311 miles of range, right? 311 miles of range. You're pretty much gonna get to wherever you need to go with this thing, right? So if you daily drive it, or you drive it to work, or you want to take a short road trip, charging and range will not be an issue, especially when we talk about the charging capability, how fast it's capable of charging. We'll get to that. Overall weight is about 6,000 pounds. So this thing is no slouch in terms of weight. This thing is heavy, and a lot of that is coming from the batteries, of course. The hood, not over styled, just subtle design language here. Of course, you have the Hyundai badge. Let's talk about the side profile. We have massive turbine style wheels. That'll probably be the first thing that you notice from the side profile. These are 21-inch wheels. Now we do have body color wheel arches as well in other trims. It would be done in black. I think it looks great in the body color, especially with the body color side view mirrors. That looks great overall. The overall length of this vehicle is about 199 inches, right? So just to give you an idea, this car is relatively massive in terms of size. We have 123 inches for the wheelbase as well. And you're looking at about 7 inches of ground clearance as well. So overall from the side, it looks like an Ioniq vehicle. It looks easily identifiable as a Hyundai Ioniq vehicle with the retro / futuristic design theme that they always seem to have going with their vehicles. Now, if I lock the vehicle, of course, we do have flush mounted door handles, and then the side view mirrors will pop in, unlock them, everything pops out as to be expected. Overall, I think it looks great from the side. A lot of people have stopped me in the week that I've had this, asking me what this is, who made it. You know, it really is a head turner. Now coming towards the rear, we have all LED everything, as to be expected. So we have LED turn signals, LED brake lamps, and LED third brake lamp. Your rear windshield wiper is hidden underneath there to give you a nice clean look. The Ioniq 9 branding looks good as well. And then you have LED reverse lamps down here as well. Now you have your 360-degree camera system and your rear view mirror camera system as well. Let's go ahead and take a look at the rear hatch and see what storage capability the Ioniq 9 has to offer. Sorry, so when it comes to the storage capability back here, you're getting a decent amount of it. You can drop all the rows and take it up to about 89 cubic feet of storage. If you want to drop the rows, simply hit these buttons here. This is your rear second row, your right second row, and then your left, you can drop that as well, all at the push of a button. I think that's nice. We can also drop the third rows. Drop that if you want. So everything will lay flush. There's no going to the side and having to adjust the second row. You can all do it back here from this panel here. I think that's something worth mentioning, because in other vehicles, when you have to do it manually, it's a pain. Now, if you have the third row up, you get about 23 cubic feet of storage. Drop the third row, that's 47. Drop all rows. Again, you're looking at close to 89 cubic feet of storage. So let me put everything back up. And it's just that easy. One touch. All right, one touch for your tailgate as well. Let's take a look at the charging panel. All right, so you'll notice that we do have a Tesla-styled charger back here. You can charge relatively quickly in this vehicle, which is really changing the game in terms of the range. Not only are you getting 311 miles on this model, if you go to a fast charger, a DC fast charger, 350 kilowatt max, you can go from 10 to 80% in just 24 minutes. If you have a level 2 charger, you can go from 10 to 80% in about 10 hours. All right, so that is noteworthy. These cars are getting faster and faster with their charging capability. Let's take a quick look at the interior. All right. So the interior is done in gray. The driver's side is 14-way power adjustable, features 3 levels of heating and cooling, and a massage feature. The passenger side is 12-way adjustable, features 3 levels of heating and cooling, no massage feature. The door panels are done in injection molded material and have an H-Tex finish with the pixelated theme going throughout here. The H-Tex is on the seats as well, so you can't get genuine leather, but the H-Tex does feel nice. We do have silver accents on your door handles and your controls for all windows. And of course, you do have some storage on the bottom of the door as well. This bottom part is done in hard plastic. Your foot will be brushing up against it, so you really don't want it done in H-Tex. So most cars, you'll notice that this bottom portion is done in hard plastic. So let's go ahead and hop in. And get this thing started. Let me turn off the hazards. The start button is located here. Let me get that AC going. It's a little warm. All right, so we have dual 12.3-inch display screens. We have, again, your rear view camera system. If you don't like it, you can turn it off and get a traditional mirror. Injection molded material on the top of the dash. We have wireless Apple CarPlay in this model. I wish Hyundai would put that in all their models. Again, dual 12.3-inch display screens. They look good in this car, even though the competition is starting to put larger and larger screens. I think the 12.3-inch looks nice. It's not overdone. We do have this unique looking finish on this plastic material here. Kind of reminds me almost like a cupboard or a countertop or some linoleum or something like that. That is interesting. Silver finish, and of course the air conditioner vents are seamlessly integrated into the car. The interior design doesn't look interrupted by air conditioner vents. Hyundai seems to be really good at that. Speaking of air conditioner, your controls are totally separate from your infotainment screen. That looks great as well. These are touch capacitive buttons. Easy to use, slight learning curve with just locating where everything is, but over time you definitely do get used to it. Coming lower, we have 3 USB Type-C ports as well, and then storage on the bottom of the door, 12-volt power outlet as well. Now, one thing I noticed that was pretty cool, the entire center console up here is adjustable. That is nice. Props to Hyundai for incorporating that in here. I wish more cars did that. We have a control for your different driving modes, wireless charging, 2 cup holders, of course, storage in the center console. This does open up from the back, so it is double hinged. I think that's a nice touch as well. Overall, the legroom up here is plentiful. This is a great place to be. The roof is done in Alcantara, and then we do have a huge panoramic roof with shade. I like the speed that the shade closes. In other vehicles I reviewed, I just feel like it's too slow, but here they're getting the job done relatively quickly. And of course, the rear sunshade does open up to ventilate as well. So that's a nice bonus right there. Let me go ahead and close that because I got the AC going. I'll leave the shade open though. Let me leave the shade open. There we go. You can adjust the passenger side seat from the driver's seat, or if you're sitting in the back, you can adjust it as well. I think that's a nice touch. Really convenient if you want additional leg room. The seats do feature, you know, these extensions for your legs. Maybe you could just chill and relax while you're charging the vehicle. That is nice, both on the passenger side and driver's side. Steering wheel done in leather and contrast stitching. Looks nice. 4 dots. You guys already know what this means. That's H in Morse code. Looks good. And then overall, everything is just, it's nicely organized. It's not too futuristic where you're like, oh my gosh, what am I sitting in? All the controls are located where they should be, making it very user-friendly. Let's go ahead and check out the second row and see what it has to offer. All right, so opening up the rear door, you'll see how large this door is. Again, we have a massive wheelbase and just a massive vehicle. Again, 199 inches long. We do have manual shades here. And then of course, the same finishes that you saw up front on the door, you'll see here on the back as well. Pixelated design. And then of course, we do have our captain's chairs as well. Now, the captain's chairs have 3 levels of heating and cooling, and they are extremely comfortable. We have about 42 inches of leg room. And then your tri-zone climate control. Again, the center console can be opened from the back. USB Type-C ports here as well. USB Type-C ports everywhere in these cars. And then again, the seats are nice here. There is a bench style seat available in lower trim models, but overall, this is a great place to be. Now, if I press the button, the rear seat comes forward. And then we have the third row. You're looking at about 32 inches of legroom, so it is a little tighter back here. You have USB Type-C ports on either side, and the seats are adjustable as well. So overall, that is a quick look at the interior. Let's go ahead and take this vehicle out on a test drive and see how it handles. All right, so we're taking the Ioniq 9 out on a quick test drive, and being that the wheelbase is so large, the ride is super smooth and crisp in this vehicle. It really feels like a luxury vehicle, even though this isn't a Genesis. It feels like a luxury vehicle just because the size of the setup we're dealing with here. So that's going to give you a really smooth ride. It feels more luxurious than the interior looks. The interior is fairly quiet, not a lot of road noise that I've experienced in the week that I've had it. The seats overall, they're comfortable. Let me go ahead and turn on those ventilated seats. Hyundai has some of the best ventilated seats in the game. You instantly feel it as soon as you turn it on. So let me check out the different drive modes in this vehicle and see what that's about. So we do have an eco mode. All right, I do notice a difference in the throttle response with that. We have a normal, and then we have a sport mode. So that amps it up a bit. So again, you have a lot of instantaneous torque in this vehicle. Let's go ahead and lay into it. And again, you know, it's more than adequate power. This is really, you know, a minivan that's kind of been disguised as an SUV. So you're not looking to set any crazy 0 to 60 times, but you do have a lot of instantaneous torque, acceleration, you know, getting on the highway or, you know, navigating through major traffic. You know, you have that power there. You're not going to be concerned with the power being provided whatsoever. The overall interior feels nice. Again, it's a quiet environment. The seats feel great. The visibility up front it's tremendous. It's really nice. I like the finishes of the Alcantara on the headliner, which I already pointed out to you, but that massive panoramic roof in this vehicle, it's super plush. Now, again, this vehicle is coming in at about 80 grand. And once you reach prices like that, 80 grand, there become a lot of other options available on the market. I don't know how many three-row fully electric SUVs are out there, especially that have a 10-year powertrain warranty on the electrical components of the vehicle. So when you have that 10-year warranty on electrical components, to me, that's telling me that they have faith and they're prepared to back their product, right? They have faith in their own work and they're more than prepared to stand behind that work. So I personally would not buy an electric vehicle if it didn't have a really good warranty. This thing is nearly silent. Let me lay into that throttle again. It really just whisks you away. Now, one of my favorite features about Hyundai vehicles is the blind spot monitoring system and the way they incorporate the cameras and the technology that's already there. You turn on the turning signal and on the dash, it shows you what's in your blind spot. It baffles me that more brands aren't incorporating this. It's such an easy use of technology. It's an easy way to make the car safer. You know, it's already there. You already have a 360-degree camera system in most cars. Why don't they just do that, right? That looks nice. We also have a head-up display system as well. But overall, this is just a great place to be. Again, we have that electronic rear view camera system. If you don't like it, you can simply switch it back to a traditional mirror system if you want. But overall, this is just a nice place to be. I really want you guys to let me know what you think about this one in the comment section. If you have a large family and you're looking for an electric vehicle, this might be the one for you. Let me know what you guys think. If this is something that you would put your family in, would you spend 80 grand on getting that Ioniq 9 into your driveway, especially with its unique looks? I showed you the exterior, that futuristic retro vibe they do with the pixelation on the front and rear for the lights. Let me know. Until next time, I'm Ben Wayne, the automotive reviewer that YouTube deserves. I'll catch you guys in the next one. I'm out.